What's up, guys? Welcome back to CagedIn MMA. It's your host, Ebitzel Chiwa, and this is episode 11. We are going to be talking about UFC 296, baby. Yes, sir. So, first and foremost, you guys already know the drill. Dana White, let's go. Come on. Fly me out, bro. Come on. What you doing? Dana White, call out. Fly me out. Look at, I've been a huge fan for so long, like over a decade. I've been watching the pay-per-views, paying for the pay-per-views. I don't stream it like these other guys, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on, man. I haven't been to a UFC event. I was supposed to go to the John Jones one, but unfortunately that got canceled. So I didn't go, but I want to be able to fly out, experience the fan love, and just the just the crowd. So I want to watch these fights in person, man. I got it's time. Bruce Buffer. I have the UFC watch. I'm not wearing it right now though, unfortunately, which I should have put it on. Prime, come on. I could be this Prime reporter. That's a good name for me. Prime reporter right here. UFC, MMA, Caged in MMA, whatever it may be, you know what I'm saying? I'm your guy. Next, we got trivia. So, as you guys know, 3 questions. If you don't get it wrong, you get kicked in the face or punched in the face, whichever one is easiest for you. So, here's your first question. How many losses, and unfortunately I have to go here, but we're talking UFC 296. Anyways, how many losses in a row does Tony Ferguson have? I'll give you guys about like 5 seconds. More than 5 seconds, but unfortunately, Tony Ferguson has 6 fights in a row. He's been fighting, you know, hard opponents. We'll get into that. But yeah, unfortunately, he has 6 fights in a row. Let me know what you guys think about this fight. Should he have been let go? Um, he's a household name. I'm a huge fan of Tony Ferguson, but when you're on a 6 fight loss streak, you know, do you call it quits? Next, second question. What is Leon Edwards' iconic saying? Give you guys about like 5-10 seconds. So, all right. I mean, how can you forget? Headshot, dead. Pound for pound. Headshot, dead. You know what I'm saying? Headshot, dead. Iconic moment, bro. That event I'll never forget. I was actually I won't lie. I like Kamaru Usman, a huge fan of his, but at that moment I was going for Leon Edwards only because like you know he was the underdog and just everything like facing adversity and stuff like that. I just loved, especially so when he got that head kick knockout, and then he's on the cage going like this, and everybody's Rocky, Rocky, Rocky. It's phenomenal, right? So you think about it's crazy to think about his nickname is Rocky, and he came back like Rocky did, and never gave up like Rocky did, and it's just that name definitely suits him and was made for him. So beautiful moment. I love that, and such an iconic like saying. You know what I'm saying? So let me know or let me know if you got it right. If you didn't get it right, whoever you're watching this with, or if you're watching with yourself, bro, hit yourself, dog, because you need to keep up with the game. You know what I'm saying? So, third question and final question: where is Shavkat Rachmanov from? And if you guys don't know, Laura Sanko is in love with this man. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Even though she has a husband publicly, you know what I'm saying? She can't get away from this man. So, I'm looking forward to her interviews, uh, getting closer to the event on Saturday. So, anyways, he is from Kazakhstan. So obviously, if he wins or whoever wins, really, Stephen Wonderboy or Shavkat, they'll most likely get the title shot. And if he wins, he'll be the first to bring back the belt to his hometown with the flag on his back. So, anyways, Yes, let me know what you guys think and if you guys got that right. So next we got fight news, baby. So as you guys know, last event, I do a podcast. If you guys haven't noticed, I do one for every UFC event. Not really fight night, just the first one when it came to Strickland. Um, Not because I'm biased or anything. I like Strickland, obviously, but it was just I got started right. So I decided to do more of UFC events. And yeah, so anyways, last UFC event, obviously Aspinall won by knockout. Pereira won, maybe an early stoppage. Let me know what you guys think about that too. Then we got, if you guys don't know, again, this is Caged in MMA. We talk about all sporting events, right? Obviously, we got Devin Haney coming off a win, phenomenal win. We got Ryan Garcia coming off a big win, and it was a crazy fight, crazy close fight. So let me know what you guys think about that fight. I heard Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia may be fighting. So yeah, or should I say boxing? Is that fighting, boxing, still fighting, maybe boxing for the MMA fans, just boxing. Anyways, you guys already know. So next we got Mike Perry versus Eddie Alvarez. Mike Perry obviously won via doctor stoppage. Man, that thing was brutal, but an amazing fight, phenomenal fight. Mike Perry, he's just born to be in bare knuckle, and honestly, man, all his fights in bare knuckle are just so impressive, and it's awesome to watch these, especially like actual like very experienced MMA fighters fighting with gloves their whole life, going to bare knuckle, and yeah, it's a different breed, and much respect. But Mike Perry, uh, phenomenal job. Next, we got Henry Cejudo versus Marab at UFC 298. So that's another additional fight. So, like I said, we already got UFC the main events for the next three pay per views. So UFC 297, 298, and 299. We are just waiting for UFC 300. Who do you think is going to be on those cards? You got people saying it may be Conor McGregor. You got other people saying Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev. Maybe Charles Oliveira versus, and maybe who knows? What could be a big fight too? Conor McGregor versus Islam. The only thing about that is Charles Oliveira does definitely deserve that fight more than Conor McGregor. But it's UFC 300. They need something big. Who knows? They might get Sean O'Malley out there. We got Conor McGregor right here. And many people, GSP have posted on his Instagram him back in the octagon. He has said publicly he's not going to be back in the octagon, but you never know. What if he does a grappling event, first grappling event in UFC against Nick Diaz. So Nick Diaz is over there. So let me know what you guys think, and then I have GSP right here. One of the goats for sure. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about UFC 300 and who you predict will be fighting on that card. UFC 296 is stacked, and honestly, I hope UFC 300 beat. I don't know how you could top this event. Honestly, man, we have seen crazy events, crazy fights, but this is one from even the prelims and early prelims. It's going to be phenomenal. The fact that this card is so stacked, I'm going to be speeding through these fights because there's just so much to talk about. But like I said, I want to make this short, and hopefully I give you guys a killer video and some good predictions. And let me know what all your predictions, man. Comment down below, and I want to see what you guys think because this card to end the year, perfect job, Dana White. You did a great job. So we'll start off with prelims. Like I said, I'm gonna go quick with these fights because there's just too much to talk about, right? But prelims, if you guys didn't know, Cody Garbrandt will be versing Brian Kelleher. So Cody Garbrandt, obviously, phenomenal veteran of the sport. He's coming off a win, and before that, I mean, he's a veteran in the sport. He's been a champ. He's uh, he's been around for the game for a minute. So who knows? Will this, you know, I doubt this will be his last fight, honestly. But you never know. You never know. I mean, this is if he goes off a win, gets a win, he may want to get out in a win. Um, I mean, there's so much, different avenues he could go through too. But let me know what you guys think. Uh, Cody Garbrandt, shall he remain in the game or leave the sport, or what do you guys think? He's still young. He's still young, but let me know what you guys think. Next, we got Josh Emmett versus Bryce Mitchell. Dude, these guys are phenomenal, great fighters. Obviously, you got Bryce Mitchell with them camo shorts. Josh Emmett, he was going to be, obviously, many believed he was going to be the next runner up. He lost against Rodriguez. And, again, many people thought he was going to fight Volkanovski. Then he also lost to Topuria, which Topuria is next in line against Alex Volkanovski. So, you got phenomenal, fights to make and fighters he's fought, and he's put on a great, performance and has been a great fighter. Bryce Mitchell as well. He's more of a grappler. His wrestling, just offense is phenomenal. He came up short on his last fight, but still a great fighter, still a beast. Has beat some of the best like Edson Barboza and such. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, what your predictions are for that fight. And honestly, I can't wait for these fights. Saturday night is going to be a long night, baby, because from the afternoon till the end of the night, I got to stay tuned for all these fights. So, next, we got the main event. Let's talk about the main event. Like I said, I'm sorry I skimmed through the prelims and right now, talking very quickly, but there's every fight is so great. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a phenomenal fight and I can't wait. Fight card, main event. I wish I was there, but I'm not. But let's get into it. Main event of the evening. Let's start off with Ian Gary versus Vicente Luque. Ian Gary is 13-0 and Vicente Luque is 22-9-1. Now, many things are happening in Ian Gary's life, unfortunately. And I'm not going to get too personal, but I will say it is rumored that he will not be at the press conference. Now, let me know what you guys think about that. I'm not going to get into it, but if you guys don't know, I suggest going to maybe Sean Strickland's Instagram and searching up the videos or such like that. Ian Gary says that he fears for his family's life. At the press conference, he doesn't want people attacking his wife or his personal life, I should say. And again, you can't really I would say it's part of the game. You got Conor McGregor, who has been, trash talking the biggest guys, and Ian Gary, he talks too, right? So it's like he should have seen this coming, as a fighter, as a entertainer, and as a person in the sport. Um, it's pretty much like it comes with the game. It comes with the fight game. It comes with the job. And if you can't handle trash talk, if you can't handle people coming at your, personal life, but defending it with your hands, man, this is the wrong game to be in. But Ian Gary, nothing but respect. Phenomenal fighter. I mean, he has been training, been all over the world, has trained with the best to become the best, and nothing but respect as a fighter. So, Ian Gary, like I said, he might not be there for the press conference, but let me know what you guys think about that. And, do you think people like Kobe Cut? I mean, it's tough because you got great trash talkers on that card, right? Obviously, you're going to have Patty Pimlet. You're going to have, Kobe Covington, which everybody is scared of when it comes to trash talking. So it's like I understand Ian Gary is, debating like should I go, should I not go? Because let me tell you something, bro. If you piss off Kobe Covington or go at him, he's gonna come at you with everything. So Kobe, he's chaos for a reason. Kobe Chaos Covington. So like I said, let me know what you guys think. I really want to know what you guys think about the whole situation. So next we got really we still got Ian Gary, but we'll talk about Vicente Luque, right? First, we'll talk about Vicente Luque. Vicente Luque has been in the game for a while. Phenomenal fighter. I'm a huge fan of Vicente Luque. I mean, I actually, before I really believed that he was going to be or become a champ one day. And, he still has time depending on his performance, obviously, against Ian Gary, which is a great fighter, phenomenal fighter, and going to be a hard, difficult task. I called this, by the way. I said if Ian Gary wins his last fight, he will fight Stephen Wonderboy Thompson or Vicente Luque. And Stephen Wonderboy denied that fight, and Luque took that fight. So it was between them two, and great job by matchmakers. You know what I'm saying? So Luque, he has 11 wins by knockout, 8 submissions, and 13 first round finishes. Luque is coming off a win against Dos Anjos, which is also a veteran in the sport. He was once at the top of his game, top of his class, so of his weight class. So, like I said, I mean, he is coming off a great win. Next, we got Ian Gary. Ian Gary has 7 wins by knockout, 1 submission win, and 4 first round finishes. And like I said, Ian Gary is 13-0. He is undefeated right now. Ian Gary is coming off a phenomenal win against Magny. I mean, if you guys watch the fight, dude, the first leg kick Ian Gary threw at Magny, it broke him, man. Like he legit was limping already, switched stances, and then kept went back to normal stance because he couldn't fight off of southpaw, and Ian Gary kept chipping at that leg, and then got a phenomenal win. So nothing but respect to Ian Gary. Next, we got Tony Ferguson versus Paddy Pimblett. Tony Ferguson is 26-9-0. Paddy Pimblett is 20-3. So look, guys, let's just get into the records first. Let's get into the simple stuff, and then we'll talk about what you guys think and what I think about this fight and stuff like that. And noticing, because of the tone of my voice, you could already probably know where I'm going with this. So Paddy Pimblett, right? Actually, let's start off with Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson has 13 wins by knockout, 8 submission wins, and 9 first round finishes. Stats right there are great. His record 26-9, which isn't the worst. It's pretty good. But consider this. Tony has 6 straight losses against, you got Bobby Green, Nate Diaz, Chandler, Gaethje, Dariush, and Oliveira, right? So, he has lost his last 6 fights. We got Paddy Pimblett, though. He has 6 wins by knockout, 9 first round, 9 submission wins. I apologize. And Paddy Pimblett is coming off a very controversial win against Gordon. But on top of that, Paddy Pimblett is on a 6-fight win streak. Like I said, his last fight and his last win is very controversial. But again, let me know what you guys think. I will say, this is what I think about this fight. I think that Tony Ferguson is still a household name. Many people love him. I am a huge fan of him. Many people still hope that Tony Ferguson beats Paddy Pimblett, especially because of Paddy Pimblett's last performance, right? He was becoming a hype train. He was becoming a huge hype in the sport. And his last win kind of diminished that a bit. He lost fans, he lost respect. But Tony Ferguson, everybody is just sad to see him go out this way, coming off knockouts, coming off, submissions, and getting beat. You know, that first beating Gaethje put on him. On top of that, then you got Charles Oliveira, then you got Dariush, and then you got Chandler, that vicious knockout that put him out. Then you got, he was doing good against Chandler, man. I can say it, like, I was like, man, this guy is different. But Tony Ferguson, man, like, I don't know who he's training with, but what sucks is the fact that he started getting coaches too late. I believe it was too late. He should have always had coaches. He believed he could train on his own, do it on his own. Obviously, he has some people in his corner and coaching and stuff like that, but most of his techniques and all that stuff is his fighting and training. It was by himself. So maybe there was more behind the scenes and he never talked about it, but most of the stuff he really trained by himself, he said. So on top of that, you got recently, I think it was like a week of training he did with David Goggins. It may be more or less. I could be wrong. You can fact check me. I appreciate it if you do. So let me know if it was more or less, or was it just a day, couple days. But I saw or have seen that he has been training with David Goggins. Listen, guys, David Goggins is a beast. He's a phenomenal cardio machine. Uh, crazy mentality and everything. But I don't think Tony Ferguson, he needs help mentally with the fight game. Every fighter does, but he needs to be training fighting. And David Goggins isn't a fighter. He is maybe a spiritual fighter, right? With emotions and with never giving up and stuff like that. But let me tell you something: if you get knocked out, there ain't no I want to give up or I don't want to give up. No, you're knocked out, buddy. If you get it slept in a submission, arm triangle, your arm's broken, or you get slept in a rear naked choke and or whatever it may be. Your arm's broken, you're knocked out unconscious because of a choke, or you get knocked out. There's no waking up. Whether you want to give up or not, you're forcefully done. So again, I don't like this fight. I think Tony Ferguson should have retired after Michael Chandler. But who knows why they keep giving him these fights? Is it because of finances? Is that many fighters come back to the sport because of financial issues? And but who knows, man? I wish Tony Ferguson nothing but the best, but I am edging more on Paddy Pimblett. Now, if Tony Ferguson wins, I will eat my tongue. But listen to this, I will be happy but only if he retires. I don't want to hear him win and talk about 4 more wins, I get a title shot. No, buddy, win, get the hell out of there, please. As a fan, as a huge fan for the sport for so long, I just want to see, him go out fine and good. But he's a crazy dude, man. It makes him El Cucuy for a reason, and that's in his nature. And again, I got nothing but respect for him. So next, we got Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Shavkat Rachmanov. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is 17-6-1, and Shavkat is 17-0. He is undefeated. So let's go ahead and start off with Thompson. Like I said, this fight could be a potential title fight next, right? So we got Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. He has 8 wins by knockout, 1 submission, and 5 first round finishes. Okay. Stephen Wonderboy isn't too active. He last time he fought was December 3rd of 2022 against Kevin Holland, which he won. Um, and it was a phenomenal fight, stand up fight. They will go to the ground, but then they will be like, stand up, let's fight it, let's box, let's kickbox it out, and no grappling and such like that, really. So, like I said, um, we got Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, and if he wins, he's really just looking for that title shot. I mean, he's like 42 years old. He's getting up there, but in embedded, he was talking about Glover Teixeira, like people like that, like they were old and they did it. They became one of the oldest champions, and even John Jones right now, like he's old, but he's the oldest champion on the roster right now. So we got that, but unfortunately, like before his Kevin Holland win, he lost to Bilal Muhammad and Burns. So I'll state my opinion on this. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, if he wins, Leon has to win, because if Leon wins, I think Wonderboy has a chance. I don't think he has a chance against Kobe, because every wrestler Wonderboy faces, he gets dominated. You got Burns wrestled the hell out of him. Bilal wrestled the hell out of him. So with Leon Edwards, I don't think Leon would wrestle. I think it would be a striking match, and that would be a phenomenal fight. If Kobe wins against Leon Edwards, I believe Kobe Covington and Wonderboy wins. I believe Kobe Covington will out just grapple Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. But like I said, you never know what happens. Kamaru Usman versus Leon Edwards. We'll get into that. Usman was dominating. Bam, headshot, dead. So, like I said, I feel like stylistically, Wonderboy Rachmanov, dude, amazing fight, going to be a brutal fight. But if Wonderboy wins, Leon has to win. If Shavkat wins, doesn't matter who wins because Shavkat, I think, is great all around. So I'm not saying Stephen Wonderboy is a one-dimensional fighter, but I think his grappling game, he is very weak compared to these top wrestlers. So still much respect, nicest mother effort out there. So yeah, so next we got Shavkat, right? He has 8 wins by knockout, 9 submission wins, and 9 first round finishes. He's beat Neal, he's beat Magny, he's beat Harris, he's beat Oliveira. No, not Charles Oliveira, the other Oliveira. So he has a great record, phenomenal fighter. I believe his last fight obviously was his toughest fight, brutal fight. I didn't think he would pull that off. I mean, I think he was going to win, but I didn't think it was going to be by submission in the last round. So crazy fight, brutal fight, amazing fighter, and can't wait to see what the future has to hold for him because it's definitely this guy, he's a great fighter, and styles make fights. I think this fight, Wonderboy versus Shavkat, it can go 3 rounds, all 3 rounds, and to a decision, and they're going to be bloodied up, or it could end by knockout or by submission. I mean, this is the fight game, right? But now, no, like Wonderboy is a beast. He stands and bangs. He could take a lot of hits. He has a chin on him, and Shavkat does too. So very excited to see this fight. So, for the co-main event of the evening, here's the belt. The belt Alexandra Pantoja is defending. He is coming off a win against my boy Brandon Moreno. Brandon Moreno did hurt his hand in that fight, but Pantoja did a phenomenal job. But let's get into it. Alexandra Pantoja versus Brandon Royval. Pantoja is 26-5. Brandon Royval is 15-6. Let's start with Brandon Royval. Brandon Royval has 4 wins by knockout, 9 submission wins, and 10 first round finishes. He is coming off wins against Nicolo and Schnell. They're phenomenal fighters. I think Brandon Royval could have had more on his resume before he got this title shot, but at the same time, it's like, who else do you put up there, right? So once you get to the top of this division, I think like that's like you pretty much stay there for a while. I mean, it's a very competitive division, but definitely the best of the best on there are, in my opinion, are top for a reason, and they're like far beyond, not like too far, but they're definitely beyond the other fighters. So again, unfortunately, also Brandon Royval has a loss already against Alexandra Pantoja. So who knows how this fight will go? He lost against via submission back in a few years ago. So let's see if these fighters, obviously, they have progressed each other's game. Both of have got better stylistically in their own game, and I'm very excited to see this. This fight definitely could go anyway. Brandon Royval is a cardio machine. It could go all 5 rounds, I believe. We saw him just run 9 miles in 6.5 minute pace. No sweat. This guy was like, all right, 9 miles. I'm done. It's crazy. So, guy's a cardio machine, very quick. Feet movement is phenomenal. So, can't wait to see this fight. So, we got Pantoja. He has 8 wins by knockout, 10 submission wins, and 10 first round finishes. He's beat Royval before, like I said. He has wins against Moreno. He has multiple wins against Moreno. And so that was a brutal fight, crazy fight. I think this fight will sort of be the same. Obviously, styles makes fights. I don't think there will be I feel like the grappling, there will be grappling, but not as much as with Brandon Moreno. I don't know. I feel like they're going to want to stand and bang on this one, but who knows? Again, Pantoja, he knows he could beat Royval or has beat Royval on the ground before, so he might try to do it again and just show him that there's different levels to the game. So let me know what you guys think. I think Pantoja also, after the Brandon Moreno win, he has a lot of hate. But man, if you guys, I feel like this division, man, they're very warm hearted. Like they're very cool people, nice people. Pantoja, after his win against Moreno, he was screaming out to his father because his father had left him, and he was like, "Look at me now. Are you proud of me, Dad?" And then you got Brandon Moreno, such a like, he's sweethearted and everything, and then even Brandon Royval, right? Going up, with juveniles and such, and spending time with them, trying to, just give the community more, and you know make the community become better. Man, these guys are great fighters. They represent the sport very well. And again, they remind me of like people like Habib and stuff like that, where they're just, they're very nice kind of people. They separate, that the hatred and the angerness and all that stuff and violence. They put it aside. They're like, look, this is the sport. I love this sport. It's more of like a mental thing. Like I just have a passion for the sport, but outside the sport, I'm still, I'm a fighter, but for the community. I think it's a great representation for the sport, like I said. So last but not least, we got the main event of the evening, baby. Leon Edwards versus Kobe Chaos Covington. So this fight has been needed for so long. I mean, I honestly thought Kobe was going to fight Leon before Leon fought Kamaru Usman, but it did not happen that way. But I like how it happened this way, right? Kobe has 2 losses against Usman. Leon has 2 wins against Usman. Leon, obviously, he was out of the sport for a while. Many things were happening, and fights kept getting canceled, things like that. But Leon is champ, defended his belt very well. But let's go ahead and talk about it. Kobe Covington, he's 17-3-0 against Leon Edwards. He's 21-3-0. So Kobe Covington, he has 4 knockout wins, 4 submission wins, and 3 first-round finishes. He's coming off wins against people like Lawler, Woodley, and Masvidal, obviously. Look, Kobe, I'm a huge fan, but he doesn't fight often. He, ever since like the past 4 years, I think he's fought once a year. So he's not very active, but definitely when he comes to fight, he definitely performs. And again, that's why he's still a household name. Many people love him. Many people respect him as a fighter. His trash talk is definitely, out of the roof, but it's a character. I believe it's a character he definitely puts on, and it sells pay-per-views, and I'm here for it. I'm here for fights. I'm here for tension, and that's what I like. Leon Edwards already came out. He's like, look, this fight, I don't like this fighter, and I'm here to defend my belt. So it's a good, it brings out a different beast of Leon Edwards that I'm also ready to see. So like I said, I mean, Kobe Covington, he has 2 losses against the former champ and Kamaru Usman over there. But great performance also, right? The second fight against Kamaru Usman, it could have been either or, right? I actually had Kobe winning 3 rounds to 2, but when I heard Usman won 3 rounds to 2, I wasn't complaining. It was a very close fight. Both fights were very close. That first fight, um, Usman also, they went 5 rounds, and then Usman finished Kobe in the last round. But man, like both, it's insane, right? I think Kobe will wrestle Leon. I think where Usman messed up on the second fight was he was trying to more stand and bang. He didn't really wrestle Leon at all. He was kind of faking the takedown and stuff like that. Leon was definitely prepared for it, but I feel like Leon also expected more wrestling. And again, I think Leon on the feet is definitely better. One of the greatest, great strikers in the division. So Kobe Covington, I'm ready to see him fight Leon Edwards. Styles make fights. I think Kobe Covington will try to wrestle Leon Edwards way more. But Leon Edwards, we see him. He could come back. You stand up with him. You make one mistake, he will knock you out. So next, we got Leon Edwards. He has 7 wins by knockout, 3 submission wins, and 5 first round finishes. He has beat Usman twice now. And obviously, before that, he beat Nate Diaz. He had fought Bilal Muhammad. Bilal Muhammad obviously got poked in the eye. I mean, there's many things that has happened in Leon Edwards' career that is very unfortunate. But Leon Edwards, the first fight against Kamaru Usman, he was definitely getting beat. But Leon Edwards definitely came back last minute of the very last round and knocked him out with a head kick. So very beautifully performed, and it was phenomenal. Then he came back again. Many people believed Usman was going to dominate again, but I always say something. Look, when a fighter is doing everything perfect, they go back and they try to figure out their mistakes. There isn't many mistakes they can improve on because very little was there. But as a fighter on the other end who was beaten down, they have so much to improve on. So you got basically you're in a scale, right? This fighter wins, he remains the same. This fighter is down here, but he gets better than before. So now he's on top. The other fighter remained the same, maybe a little better, but it's a scale that you go like this. And again, the worst fighter becomes better. So we've seen it many times. That's why many champions that come off of uh, of a loss, they don't really. It's very hard to reclaim it because, again, some believe they're doing very well, and they think they didn't do much. Basically to like they couldn't really improve much. So I believe that's what happens, but who knows? But like I said, I mean, I'm very excited for this fight. I don't think it will end by knockout, but if it's a knockout, I think Leon Edwards gets it. If it's a submission, I think Kobe Covington gets it. And if it's a decision win, I think Kobe Covington gets it as well. So I believe, in my opinion, I'm a huge fan of Leon and Kobe, both of them. But definitely like I feel like Leon is definitely the better striker, but Kobe Covington is the better wrestler. So Kobe Covington, I believe, also has the better cardio. And Leon Edwards, I mean, he has proven himself too. And I mean, being down on the ground isn't easy. Trying to get up constantly every single round. Fifth round, you still have some gas in you to knock out your opponent. Uh, I'm ready to see a war. I hope this goes 5 rounds because I just want to see war, right? I want to see, as a fan, a long fight and a good fight. And if it ends by knockout, I will not complain. If it ends by submission, I will not complain either. I just don't want a doctor stoppage or anything like that. So, like I said, this is UFC 296, baby. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know your guys' prediction. Let me know if you guys like the shorter videos, longer videos. What do you guys think? I didn't cover much. I didn't go very deep into their records, the fighters' records. There's so much to talk about. But anyways, like I said, I'm very excited for this fight. You guys have to tune in for UFC 296 prelims, early prelims, and main event. So, guys, I'll see you later. Thanks for tuning in. It's your host, Ebis Chiwa, episode 11 of Caged In MMA. Peace.